The boxing world has been buzzing with excitement following the Jake Paul vs. Mike Perry fight. Here are some of the most thrilling reactions. At a BBFC press conference on Thursday, Conor McGregor took the opportunity to mock Jake Paul. McGregor, who recently acquired partial ownership of the Bare Knuckle Fighting League, expressed his support for Mike Perry ahead of Perry's match against Paul, calling Paul a little dweeb. Paul, who had initially criticized Perry and the entire bare knuckle fighting community, redirected his focus towards McGregor during the pre-fight press conference. Paul began by acknowledging the BBFC, but quickly shifted to boasting about his anticipated victory over Perry. "You're going to see what I did to their best fighter on Saturday night," Paul declared. "I'm going to embarrass their whole entire league. This guy has no skill. Those are just brawler idiots, street fighter dudes who have no idea what the sweet science is." He also targeted McGregor, stating Conor McGregor can say what he wants, but he won't fight me either, ironically. Paul hinted at potentially transitioning to bare-knuckle fighting for a rematch with Perry after their boxing match. Perry, however, dismissed the notion, doubting that Paul would dare to face him in a no-gloves contest. Paul has long sought a bout with McGregor, but despite years of calling for the fight, it has not come to fruition, primarily because McGregor is still under contract with the UFC. Paul mentioned a potential boxing match with McGregor, saying, "Once I knock out Mike Perry, Conor McGregor, let's run it, but you won't do it because you know what's going to happen. You saw what I did to Nate Diaz, who you went toe-to-toe with, so Conor McGregor, lay off the cocaine. Get in the gym and start winning fights, and then maybe we can have a conversation." Despite McGregor's new stake in BKFC, Perry did not fully appreciate McGregor's comments but stood up for the bare-knuckle fighters against Paul's criticisms. McGregor praised Perry as "one of our big stars here, the king of violence," a title Perry claimed was awarded to him by BKFC following his victory over former UFC champion Eddie Alvarez. Perry added, "Before McGregor ever showed up, I was a co-owner of BKFC." He described Paul as a disrespectful punk and emphasized the dedication of bare-knuckle fighters who fight for their families and put it all on the line. July 20th was highly anticipated due to the unexpected boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. However, Tyson had to postpone the fight due to a sudden ulcer flare-up, leading to Mike Perry replacing him to fight Paul. Tyson cautioned Paul to stay vigilant, with Paul sharing the advice Tyson personally gave him. "Tyson was concerned with me taking this fight. He's like, what is Jake thinking? This guy Mike Perry is a killer, so he has some concerns. But Tyson, my message to you is don't worry. I'm going to put this guy to sleep. This is the Mike appetizer, and you're next." Paul also provided a health update on Tyson, stating that he is doing well and has resumed training. Despite Paul's confidence, he appeared more concerned for Tyson's well-being compared to his other opponents. Mike Perry was determined to depart Tampa with more than he arrived with, vowing to bring home the W's, the money, and Jake's head. Since leaving the UFC, Perry has achieved remarkable success in BBFC, securing victories in all his bare-knuckle fights. His impressive record includes knockout wins against former UFC champions Eddie Alvarez and Luke Rockhold, as well as former UFC title contender Thiago Alves. Perry emphasized that his extensive combat experience would be a significant advantage, stating, "Listen, I fought every year for the past 10 years in MMA bare-knuckle boxing, and I'm an undefeated king of violence. I smash guys who have never been smashed before." Perry mentioned that a surprising win over Paul would pave the way for any future opportunity he desires. adding, "Jake lost a little baby fight to Tommy Fury. But I'm here to smash him. Jake can box, but I can fight. What do you do to a boxer? You fight him, you pull him into the deep water, and you wring his neck." Veteran analyst Dan Hardy was shocked that Jake Paul risked his Tyson fight by taking on Perry. Hardy described it as a recipe for disaster for Paul and expressed surprise that Paul would allow Perry to punch him. Hardy highlighted Perry's relentless fighting style, which he believed Paul might not have encountered before, advising Paul to approach the bout with utmost seriousness. "Mike Perry is an animal, an absolute barbarian," Hardy said. "He is made for striking sports, anything where he doesn't have to worry about someone trying to hold on to him and take him down." Hardy acknowledged Paul's size, power, conditioning, and improving boxing skills, but noted that Perry's unique intensity could be a game-changer. Hardy mentioned that Paul's previous victories over seasoned MMA fighters did not include someone like Perry, who brings a different level of intensity. "Against Nate Diaz, you're going to feel like you're being waterboarded, but you might not feel like you're getting hurt. Against Ben Askren, what are you going to worry about when he's wearing boxing gloves? Against Tyron Woodley, he's dangerous if he throws something at Mike Perry. You've got all of those problems rolled into one," Hardy explained. He also noted that while defeating Tyson would earn Paul a substantial payday and publicity, it would not be the same as overcoming a Pete Tyson. Hardy concluded that there is always danger in fighting someone like Tyson, but defeating him at this stage would not garner the accolades it once would have. Tony Bellew also gave his prediction for the bout, believing that Jake Paul would put on a memorable show and win. Fair play to Jake and his team for getting this on, as he easily could have sat this one out and waited for the Tyson fight to come around, Bellew said. He noted that Paul wanted to stay active and avoid periods of inactivity. Despite going up against an experienced fighter like Perry, Bellew predicted the fight would end early with a big knockout by Paul. Jake has proven he can compete with MMA fighters in boxing and expected Jake to demonstrate this again with a big brutal knockout. In conclusion, the tension between Jake Paul, Mike Perry, and Conor McGregor added a layer of intrigue to the upcoming fights. With McGregor's mockery, Paul's bravado, and Perry's determination, the dynamics of the BBFC and the potential matchups were filled with anticipation and uncertainty. Hey everyone! If you're passionate about boxing and love staying updated with the latest news, insights, and in-depth analyses, you've come to the right place. On this channel, we dive deep into the world of boxing, covering everything from legendary matchups to emerging talents and behind-the-scenes stories that shape the sport. Our goal is to provide you with the most engaging and informative content, bringing you closer to the action than ever before.